All right, this workout is a solo striking counters technique workout for experienced MMA practitioners. So it's going to focus on specifically on counter striking, both as single strikes and in combination. And it's going to try to get you to jog your memory to come up with the appropriate counter strikes for specific attacks, but also going to instruct you and gives you the ability to memorize them if you're not completely familiar with all those different types of attacks and the appropriate counters that are out there. It's going to feature 11 3-minute rounds with 1-minute rest periods. You are going to need a heavy bag and some gloves, but that's pretty much it. And we'll give instruction and guidance throughout the video. Enjoy it. All right, warm up Tai Chi Complex. Feet wide, back straight, squat down. Fingers across the ground and come up to this position. Exhale as you push out and squat down. Touch the ground, back to this position. Push out to the sides and squat. Exhale. Fingers across the ground. And push up to the ceiling, squat. Touch the ground. Lunge to one side. Exhale. Back to the middle. Lunge to the other side. And exhale. Inhale as you come up. Start over. Push out. Out to the sides. To the ceiling. Lunge. Other side. Back to the middle. Straight in front. Out to the sides. To the ceiling. Lunge. Other side. Okay, this shadow fighting drill is footwork, evasion, and blocking all mixed together. So you're going to start with doing a footwork circle drill. Moving laterally in a circle, not crossing your feet. Go back the other way. You're going to move forward. You're going to move backwards. Forwards. Backwards. Come back to a fighting stance. You duck, slip, slip, roll, roll. Duck, slip, slip, roll, roll. While moving forward and backwards. Then you're going to go into some blocking. Etc. Then at the end of the round, we're going to mix it up. All right, so you're going to move, block, slip, roll, everything mixed together. That'll be the drill coming up.
The shadow fighting drill is boxing counter-strikes memorization. So for the duration of the time period, you can either follow along with the video and try to mimic and memorize the counter strikes that I'm throwing against various punches, or you can come up with your own counter strikes if you already have those in your head. So for example, against a straight punch to the head, duck, and a straight to the body, duck, straight to the body, right? Or another straight punch to the head, slip and hook, slip and hook. All right, so you can follow along for the duration of the drill. You can watch the video and do exactly what I do, or you can do your own counter strikes. But it's, you're basically recalling and memorizing these boxing counter strikes for the duration of the time period. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a duck and a straight to the body. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a slip and a hook to the body. Counter to a straight punch to the head with an overhead block and an uppercut punch to the body. Counter to a hook punch to the head with a roll to the outside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a hook punch to the head with a roll to the outside with a dragging hook to the body. Counter to a hook punch to the head with a cover block and an uppercut punch to the head. Counter to an uppercut punch to the head with a wing block to the outside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to an uppercut punch to the head with a slip to the outside and a hook punch to the body. Counter to an uppercut punch to the head with a wing block to the outside and an uppercut punch to the body. Counter to an overhand punch to the head with a roll to the outside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to an overhand punch to the head with a slip to the outside and a hook punch to the body. Counter to an overhand punch to the head with an overhead block and an uppercut punch to the body.
Counter to a straight punch to the body with an elbow block and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a hook punch to the body with an elbow block and an uppercut punch to the head. Counter to an uppercut punch to the body with a slip and elbow block to the outside and a hook punch to the head. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a wrist block to the outside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a wrist block to the inside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a wrist block to the outside and the same side, straight punch to the head. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a wrist block to the inside and the same hand, straight punch to the head. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a wrist block across to the inside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a duck and uppercut punch to the head. Counter to a hook punch to the body with an elbow block and a straight punch to the head. Okay, this heavy bag drill is boxing counter strikes with a single strike, so as opposed to a combination. So it's really just about drill and memorization of the various techniques. So think about, an incoming straight punch or a hook punch or an overhand or an uppercut to your head, and think about the appropriate counter punch to that strike. So for example, you got a straight punch coming to your head, slip under, and go to with a straight to the body, right? If you got a hook punch coming to your head, roll under, straight to the head, right? Just examples. You can follow along. I'm actually going to be doing during this video, stating specific counters, so you can follow along with those and do exactly as I'm doing them, or you can make up your own single counter strikes for the duration of the drill. Coming up. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a duck and a straight to the body. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a slip and a hook to the body. Counter to a straight punch to the head with an overhead block and an uppercut punch to the body. Counter to a hook punch to the head with a roll to the outside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a hook punch to the head with a roll to the outside with a dragging hook to the body. Counter to a hook punch to the head with a cutter block and an uppercut punch to the head. Counter to an uppercut punch to the head with a boom block to the outside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to an uppercut punch to the head with a slip to the outside and a hook punch to the body. Counter to an uppercut punch to the head with a boom block to the outside and an uppercut punch to the body. Counter to an overhand punch to the head with a roll to the outside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to an overhand punch to the head with a slip to the outside and hook punch to the body. Counter to an overhand punch to the head with an overhead block and an uppercut punch to the body. Counter to a straight punch to the body, an elbow block, and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a hook punch to the body, with an elbow block, and an uppercut punch to the head. Counter to an uppercut punch to the body, with a slip and elbow block to the outside, and a hook punch to the head. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a wrist block to the outside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a wrist block to the inside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a wrist block to the outside and the same side, straight punch to the head. And do a straight punch to the head with a wrist block to the inside, and the same hand straight punch to the head. Going to do a straight punch to the head with a wrist block across to the inside, and a straight punch to the head. And do a straight punch to the head with a duck, and uppercut punch to the head. Okay, for this heavy bag drill, we're doing boxing counter combinations. So fists only, punching only, but it's going to be off of a counter to your opponent's strike. So imagine a strike coming in. So for example, you got a straight punch coming at the head. So you slip it and you go for a combination. Other side can be the same thing. All right, then you can work on a hook. So hook coming in, roll it, and a combination. So always imagine, throwing out combination as a counter off your opponent's strike. That's what you got for the upcoming drill. Okay, for this shadow fighting drill, we're doing kickboxing counter strikes memorization, and just doing single strikes. So you can either follow on for the entire video and mimic the movements that I'm doing to try to memorize them, or you can use your own counter strikes. What you're thinking of is thinking about different strikes you would face, both punches and kicks, in a kickboxing scenario, and think about the counter strikes that would be most efficient to offset those. So for example, if you have a front kick to the body, you got the knee block to the outside and the straight punch to the head. All right, so that's just a real simple example. But you can follow along and do your own, and mimic the strikes I'm doing, or you can come up with your own for the duration of the time period. Counter to a straight punch to the head with an overhead block and a front kick to the body. Counter to a hook punch to the head with a roll to the outside and a side kick to the leg. Counter to an uppercut punch to the head with a wing block to the outside and a roundhouse kick to the leg. Counter to a straight punch to the body with an elbow block to the outside and a roundhouse kick to the leg. Counter to a hook punch to the body with an elbow block and a front kick to the leg on the same side. Counter to an uppercut punch to the body with a slip to the outside and a side kick to the leg. Counter to a front kick to the head with a cover block to the outside and a roundhouse kick to the leg. Counter to a side kick to the head with a cover block to the outside and a side kick to the leg. Counter to a roundhouse kick to the head with a cover block to the inside and a front kick to the leg with the same side. Counter to a front kick to the body with a knee block to the inside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a side kick to the body with a knee block to the outside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a roundhouse kick to the body with an upward knee block and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a front kick to the leg with a slip to the outside and a roundhouse kick to the body. Counter to a side kick to the leg with a foot block to the inside and a front kick to the body with the same foot. Counter to a roundhouse kick to the leg with a foot block to the inside with the same side and a front kick to the body. Counter to a hook punch to the head with a roll to the outside and a hook kick to the head. Counter to a front kick to the head with a cover block to the outside and a straight punch to the head. All right, for this heavy bag drill, we got American kickboxing single counter strikes. All right, so you're going to envision a strike of some type, a punch or a kick of some type, and the appropriate counter strike to that kick or punch, and execute it on the heavy bag for the duration of the time period. You can come up with your own counter strikes if you already have a good knowledge of this, or you can follow along with the video, and we'll be giving specific counters to specific strikes during the course of it. And to a straight punch to the head with an overhead block and a front kick to the body. Counter to a hook punch to the head with a roll to the outside and a side kick to the leg. Counter to an uppercut punch to the head with a wing block to the outside and a roundhouse kick to the leg. Counter to a straight punch to the body with an elbow block to the outside and a roundhouse kick to the leg. Counter to a hook punch to the body with an elbow block and a front kick to the leg on the same side. Counter to an uppercut punch to the body with a slip to the outside and a side kick to the leg. Counter to a front kick to the head with a cover block to the outside and a roundhouse kick to the leg. Counter to a side kick to the head, a cover block to the outside and a side kick to the leg. Counter to a roundhouse kick to the head, with a cover block to the inside, and a front kick to the leg at the same side. Counter to a front kick to the body, with a knee block to the inside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a side kick to the body, with a knee block to the outside and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a roundhouse kick to the body, with an upward knee block and a straight punch to the head. Counter to a front kick to the leg, with a slip to the outside and a roundhouse kick to the body. Counter to a side kick to the leg, with a foot block to the inside and a front kick to the body, same foot. Counter to a roundhouse kick to the leg, with a foot block to the inside, with the same side, and a front kick to the body. Counter to a hook punch to the head with a roll to the outside and a hook kick to the head. Okay, for this heavy bag drill, we've got American kickboxing counter combinations. So you're doing fists and feet, no elbows, knees, headbutts, but you're doing a counter combination to your opponent's strike. So imagine a strike coming into you. If you got, for example, a straight punch to the head, got the overhand with a counter here, right, and come in with a counter strike. Right, again, try to include both, kicks and punches. All right, so if you got a hook punch coming in, right, hook, right, throw that counter combination, and do that for the duration of the upcoming drill. All right, this shadow fighting drill is freestyle striking, counter strikes memorization. All right, so for the duration of the time period, you can either follow along with the counter strikes that I'm doing during the video, or you can come up with your own. But the point of it is that you should be including, everything should include a knee, elbow, or headbutt in some fashion. All right, so that means either you're counter striking against a knee, elbow, or headbutt strike of some type, or your counter strike against a punch or kick should be a knee, elbow, or headbutt. All right, so for example, a straight punch to the head, wrist block to the outside, and elbow to the body. Right? That's just a single example. So you can follow along with the video and watch what I'm doing, or you can come up with your own for the entire time period. But single strikes and always a counter strike off of another your opponent's attack. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a wrist block to the outside and elbow to the body. Counter to a hook punch to the head with a cover block and uppercut elbow to the inside. Counter to an uppercut punch to the head with a wing block to the outside and hook elbow to the head. Counter to a straight punch to the body with an elbow block to the outside and a forward elbow to the head. Counter to a hook punch to the body with an elbow block to the inside and a headbutt. Counter to an uppercut punch to the body with an elbow block to the outside and a headbutt. Counter to a front kick to the head with a catch kick block and a downward elbow to the leg. Counter to a side kick to the head with a catch kick block and a knee to the leg. Counter to a roundhouse kick to the head with a wing block to the inside and a reverse elbow to the head. Counter to a front kick to the body with a knee block to the inside and an overhand elbow to the head. Counter to a side kick to the body with a knee block to the outside and a hook elbow to the head. Counter to a roundhouse kick to the body with a knee block to the inside with the opposite side leg and a downward elbow to the head. Counter to a front kick to the leg with a slip to the inside and a straight knee to the body. Counter to a side kick to the leg with a slip to the inside and a straight knee to the body. Counter to a roundhouse kick to the leg with a slip to the outside and a roundhouse knee to the body. Counter to a forward elbow to the head with a slip to the outside and a roundhouse knee to the body. All right, this heavy bag drill, we have freestyle striking counter strikes. And we're talking single strikes here as opposed to combinations. So the concept is, you are facing an opponent who is striking you with knees, elbows, headbutts, punches, kicks, and you want to have an appropriate response to that as a counter strike. All right, so think about different types of attacks that your opponent will be throwing at you and the appropriate, most efficient counter strike for that. You can come up with your own, or you can actually follow along with our video and with the drill in which I'll be shouting out specific counters to specific attacks. Coming up. Counter to a straight punch to the head with a wrist block to the outside and elbow to the body. Counter to a hook punch to the head with a cover block and uppercut elbow to the inside. Counter to an uppercut punch to the head with a wing block to the outside and hook elbow to the head. Counter to a straight punch to the body with an elbow block to the outside and a forward elbow to the head. Counter to a hook punch to the body with an elbow block to the inside and a headbutt. Counter to an uppercut punch to the body with an elbow block to the outside and a headbutt. Counter to a front kick to the head with a catch kick block and a downward elbow to the leg. Counter to a side kick to the head with a catch kick block and a knee to the leg. Counter to a roundhouse kick to the head with a wing block to the inside and a reverse elbow to the head. Counter to a front kick to the body with a knee block to the inside and an overhand elbow to the head. Counter to a side kick to the body with a knee block to the outside and a hook elbow to the head. Counter to a roundhouse kick to the body with a knee block to the inside with the opposite side leg and a downward elbow to the head. Counter to a front kick to the leg with a slip to the inside and a straight knee to the body. Counter to a side kick to the leg with a slip to the inside and a straight knee to the body. Counter to a roundhouse kick to the leg with a slip to the outside and a roundhouse knee to the body. Counter to a forward elbow to the head with a slip to the outside and a roundhouse knee to the body. Okay, for this heavy bag drill, we have freestyle striking counter combinations. So you're using all striking weapons in fists and feet, plus knees, elbows, headbutts, and we are throwing a counter combination to opponent's incoming strike. So if you have, for example, that straight punch coming to the head, instead of using a punch or a kick as a counter, you might use an elbow. So coming into the head, you go elbow to the ribs, elbow back up to the head, and counter, right? You can also envision elbows and knees coming at your head, right? Or at your body, right? So you want to be able to counter off of those as well. All right, so you can look at our literature for different striking counter combinations off of all different types of strikes. Okay, now that we've completed the workout, I'd strongly recommend that you do some post-workout stretching. So you can either do that either on your own with the stretching techniques that you know, or you can use the post-workout stretch complex video that we have in our video library on the channel. So take a look at that. It's about 10 minutes long. I strongly recommend you do that. Hope you enjoyed the workout. If you found this video useful and you want to see more, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. We upload videos at least once a week. Thanks for watching.